So I showed you guys this Ford Swauger Dual Action that I picked up a couple of days ago, and I haven't actually been able to dig up any more info on the maker aside from the blurb that's on Arizona Custom. But I did promise you guys that I would do a teardown and try to figure out how this weird lock mechanism is working. So let's dive in. It looks like everything's held together with a T6. You know what? I'm going to pull the Mammoth off first. Just because that is probably the biggest worry about cracking. All right. So I was correct. The bolsters and the Mammoth are all mounted to this bar. Go ahead and pull that lower bolster off. Yeah, right there. Wow, that thing comes all the way down underneath that lower bolster. I don't know if it really needed to come down that far. Maybe that's what's limiting the travel, is actually that tail. Huh, interesting. You can see there's a return spring for this bar. Looks to be milled out of the same sheet. All right. What is going on with this lock mechanism? So, oh, that is not milled out of the same sheet. Okay. All right. That is a piece of piano wire that is diving down into the hole. That's our sear that's being... All right, so the sear... Oh, all right, hold on. Never mind. I was wrong. That piece of piano wire is cut off right there. That's the return spring for the sear and the bar that everything is mounted to. This lock... Okay. This bar is coming down and interacting with something. Is that just a hook that's dropping? I think it is. All right. So yeah, this is like the world's tiniest lock bar on the world's furthest forward front lock mechanism. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly where the spring force for this is coming from, though. I wonder if there's a return spring for this under this other bolster. I'm going to warn you guys now, I am probably not going to do a full teardown on this if we can figure it out from just pulling this bolster off. Just because, you know, these older knives, knives in general, technically. Yep, there's our return spring for the lock. Ah, very cool. Bill Touch said that it was probably all driven by like little bits of piano spring or piano wire. Yeah. So that cams back when you toggle the lock bar against that piece of piano wire for your return spring for the lock. And then this piece of piano wire is driving your trigger plate to the return position. And then when you push the bolster over, it is rocking that little over-the-top style sear off the top of the spring and letting it fire open. Oh God, bumping the camera. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not going to tear this thing all the way down the rest of the way. You can see, like, all of these screws were hand fit in place. They were ground down as much as they needed to be. They were cut down to length. Um, and this is very, very common on these early custom DAs. People are going to go, oh my God, the craftsmanship looks terrible. You know what? This was never meant to be seen after the knife was put together. So cut the guy some slack. The the inside of Butch's work looks exactly the same, and that guy was the best in the business. So yeah, now we know what's going on in here. You got this really tiny, funky little lockback mechanism up at the front bolster, and then you've got what now is a pretty traditional trigger plate and sear mechanism, but was probably very innovative whenever Ford made this. Very, very cool. Now we know. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, maybe drop a teeny bit of lube in it, but it honestly was functioning perfectly, so I don't think I'm going to mess with it a whole lot and get it all put back together. I hope you all enjoyed this look at the insides of this Ford Swauger DA, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Hope everyone has a good day.